The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.3 ESPN, brings you the Mays and Eytan Show.
Middays with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander.
Now, it's the Midday Show with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
Live at Dunphy Ford for the next 2 hours. You get us on multiple platforms. Of course, 7700 North Frankfort Avenue is where we are currently sitting for the next two. And just blocks away from the historic Frankfort and Cottman intersection in the Northeast, DunphyFord.com. And I'm just going to say this right now, before you even get a word in. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win tonight.
You think so?
And this is not some homer. This is not anything like that. We've been talking enough. I've been learning enough from you through osmosis. I know you try to hide all the information that you have, but I've been learning through you and others, but mainly sitting next to you, especially through my degeneration. Slow.
Your slow degeneration.
Exactly. Right. And downward spiral into the world of sports gambling.
So, in other words, I have some responsibility in that?
Yes,
Is that
absolutely.
what you're saying?
Yeah, you've been doing this way too long. Right.
So, BAB, you're pushing your now obsession onto me.
No.
It's my fault?
I'm actually projecting the positive on you. Okay. That I've sat here and watched you study day in and day out. I've heard from folks like Bob from Crossing Broad and others who have brought lines on here. The Philadelphia Eagles, with everything that's happened to them, it tells me, as short of a line as this is, plus I think 180, maybe 190 on the money line, that the people that are responsible for setting this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Harry, believe that what we've seen has been way more as a result of who's not on the field than anything that's truly happened on the field. And as we get bodies back, I start to feel more confident.
Well, yeah, and you should. I mean, you get one of your, your B wide receiver called Deshaun Jackson, your A, because he's the biggest play guy you have. But your B guy, your possession guy, a guy that you can just sort of throw it in the zip code and he's going to come down with it. In Alshon Jeffrey back, that's a big boost to this offense, which needs a boost. You get Camus Grugier-Hill, added to this linebacker core. That's gonna help them out in nickel packages and so forth. So I agree with you. There's a lot to look positively on the Philadelphia Eagles tonight in Green Bay, and I will tell you this. I mean, when this line came out at Westgate, it was Green Bay -3. It immediately shot up to 4.5.
Yep.
Now that tells me that sharp money came in and they bumped that thing right up. These guys, they look at as soon as those lines hit, man, they're like boom. They're taking a side.
I get an alert now from the Action Network.
Oh, yeah?
As soon as these lines come out, the first lines come out, and then somebody has already written up a little thing about, well, that's just why this is moving. I'm telling you, it's crazy to see those initial lines.
And now you see the line has come back at Westgate to 4.
Correct.
Yet
That's what I have.
The majority of the bets are on Green Bay. So that's a positive. I take that as a positive.
Well, the money line's only plus 174 for the Eagles.
What is it? What do you have to lay for the Packers?
Minus 199.
Okay, well that's almost 2 to 1.
I was going to say that's a tight money, but again, the odds would tell you that at the very least this is a close scoring game.
Yeah, I would take the 4 points.
Absolutely.
And think that at the very least this is a 3-point game. Either way, Eagles win, Eagles lose the game, you're still going to take the money. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because I got some guys that are out there, right? They're out in Wisconsin playing golf. They're going to the game.
Speaking of which, in 30 minutes we're going to chat with a guy out there, Mike Heller.
But, right. Now, is he in Milwaukee or Green Bay?
Specifically,
he does radio out there, right?
Yeah, I've been on his show a bunch. He's been on mine as well. He is in Wisconsin, so he's on 97.3, The Game.
Oh, yeah, not 97.3 ESPN.
No, in Milwaukee, and the Big 1070 in Madison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he also fills in for Dan. You've seen this guy on Dan Patrick filling in and Rich Eisen as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's kind enough to come on.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
There's a positive vibe from Eagle fans going out there. I can just tell you that.
Well, isn't there every week?
Well,
come on.
No, I know.
Philadelphia Eagles be headed to the sun.
This is Lambeau, and you're 1-2 going against an undefeated Aaron Rodgers who has yet to get off yet this year.
And that's why I think that this is one of the better road trips you're going to take all year.
It would be the best. I'm envious of everybody out
there.
But
hold on a second. Forget just being at Lambeau and the trip and the history, which is a must. It's like Faneuil Hall and Fenway for the NFL. I'm saying as far as like the moment, like think about it, to your point about all the people who have traveled over there now, friends of yours to strangers who are Eagles fans, they're going to see this team awaken. Mm-hmm. They're going to see this team come to life on a Thursday night in Green Bay against Aaron Rodgers, this vaunted defense. And listen, I can't tell you they're going to blow them out. I wouldn't. But that's something really cool to see on the road when you're with, right, like 10 to 15 to maybe even 40. You won't be in Green Bay 40, but other places it will be 1,000 fans that are taking over a stadium with you.
And especially the weather's nice. Like if you're
going
to go to Green Bay, like I've watched so many great iconic games from this stadium, right, over the course of all these decades I've been watching this sport. And most of those games are played in lousy weather when it's freezing cold out, and Brett Favre's breath, as soon as he breathes, it's this big cloud and there's ice on the turf, and it's just awful. Yep. Like as a fan, there's no way I'd want to be there.
No.
Even if it was my team playing in the NFC Championship.
It'd be a pretty big deterrent.
I am such a wussy. I'd rather be right at home just watching it from 1,000 miles away in my lair. You know what I mean? Like I have no desire to be there.
You wouldn't leave your one-bedroom apartment in Appleton.
Right. Tonight, I'd like to be there. Well, it's going to be like probably, in the 50s maybe?
Tonight's going to be insane.
It's going to be perfect.
Yeah, tonight is going to be football,
crisp,
good football
just a
weather.
Crisp
right.
night.
And remember, you're spoiling a place of all places, Lambeau.
Yeah,
right,
not Lambeau.
No, not Lambeau. He's going to be back with us on Tuesday.
Right.
At Harry Mays TU, at Shander Show is how you get us on Twitter. Live at Dunphy Ford, DunphyFord.com. 97.3ESPN.com/app, of course, is how you can take us in and around the listening area if you're out of the car. Now, to your point about this, and we'll get to the text line, 609-403-0973, 71% of the money, of actual dollars waged on this game, Harry, favors Green Bay. Mm-hmm. 71%. Now, 72% of the actual bets on the Packers. Yet the line is still 4 right now.
Right.
That's insane. I mean, it doesn't – I get that it's 2-1 minus 199. That's a tough stretch on Green Bay. But if you were giving money advice right now, like Dave Ramsey, wouldn't you tell somebody, hey, take the cash that was supposed to be in that white envelope to pay off the credit card this month and put it on the Eagles on the money line?
Well, no, I would not do that. No. Because now you're saying it's an absolute stone-cold lock.
Whoa. Those terms are reserved for Mr. Monday night.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm not one to jump on anybody's
And I'll
terms.
be with him tonight at Screwballs from 6
tonight
to
is
7.
a special show, right?
Yeah, 6 to 7. We have to get we get cut off at 7 because the Eagles pregame show jumps in there, and it'll take you right to the game time. But you can hear all of that and the game right here on 97.3 ESPN. And we started off.
This is my stone-cold lock of the century.
At 6 o'clock.
I'm telling you, you take the Eagles with the points, feel good about it, but
I would do that.
You start to look around at a money line game. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're Mr. Moneyline.
No, actually, I'm telling you, today we're going to do a bunch of things. Okay?
Oh, we are?
Yeah, listen.
I've already done some homework for today's show.
And I'm very impressed. In one area that I did not expect it to happen right away, I thought I would have to push you
I had to
into
reset
this.
my password and everything. I was so annoyed.
Absolutely. And before I forget, here, let me give you this, too. So,
what's that? Oh, yeah.
You need that.
Oh, yeah.
So
that thing?
Yeah, that thing. You might have to,
nice.
You might have to go
really
to a teller for this one.
Yeah, I get a check here, and it looks like it's just been crumbled up and thrown out of a window.
It looks like it was a failure in something I tried to roll up.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I was like, wait a second, that's
like,
a check.
What is this, an easy wider or a check?
That's for Harry. Wait, the other one is what I need to smoke. Sorry. What I was saying, though, as far as the busy show we have today.
Yeah.
Mike Heller at 12:30. 12:45, we can do this and start to introduce this. Actually, we should probably introduce it maybe in like 5-10 minutes, but we have done our homework this time and each created a DraftKings lineup. So how do you propose? Do you propose that we send the screen caps to Hunter and he can post them on Twitter and people can react that way and we can talk about it that way? Or do you want to just go through the lineup?
Well, I mean,
do you want to leave some spots open? That's
what I'm thinking. I put together a lineup. I've got a little spare change left in it. It can be easily manipulated. I have some second thoughts on two of the players, two of the positions, but I'm thinking we can help, we can have the listeners fill out maybe the final 2 or 3 slots.
Okay. I like it. So we're going to do your lineup and my lineup.
Yes.
Okay, and then the listeners are going to help us. Now, another thing is I have actually created one of these tournaments, okay?
Oh, you're starting a tournament.
I did. I started a tournament.
Was this on DraftKings?
It is. It's just easy, all right? Now, I'm going to share the link on Twitter, at Shander Show, at Harry Mays as well. But we already have a couple people in this thing.
At Harry Mays, TU.
TU, correct. We already have a couple of people in this thing. I'm going to share the link. The max, there's $900 worth of prizes. So all it is, and I'm telling you this, it's tonight. So it's for tonight, meaning.
Oh, just tonight's game?
Correct. It's a showdown, $5 entry, 200 player, top 20 of the people that finish win. Philadelphia versus Green Bay. You pick a captain. You pay 1.5 for the captain, but you get 1.5 points, and then it just goes from there. So I'll put that link up as well. Now, as far as tonight is concerned, there's been just back and forth conversation about two big things. One, Aaron Rodgers. Two, the drops. I feel more confident.
I'd say three things.
Okay. What's the third before I get into
the Eagles' defensive front?
Well, that's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
I basically was saying Aaron Rodgers as far as Eagles defense and the drops as far as Eagles offense. But yes, you're right.
All right.
So Aaron Rodgers, what do you do here? Do you drop 7 back? Do you blitz? The defensive front, can Cox step up next to him?
Yeah, because I don't think there's
anything
that Schwartz can do, with all due respect to Schwartz, at the line of scrimmage that this guy hasn't seen. You know what I mean? He's one of these guys where he's like, okay, I see what you're doing here. Okay, that guy's he's going to drop back in his zone. But, he's seen it all. I don't think you can really unless you just change something, in the final second between, the snap. You know what I mean? Like a late movement, kind of thing, and really kind of shake him up. Maybe you can do something that way. But there's nothing you're going to do at the line of scrimmage that's going to rattle this guy.
No, I agree. And it's almost like, do you prepare and do stuff so different from what's on tape? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost, you almost have to force him into being Peyton Manning and going at the line and you giving him completely different looks on the line than he's seen for the first 3 games on tape for me.
Right.
And now all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, I'm not used to Malcolm being up here playing the slot as much, or I'm not used to Brandon Graham, coming off and dropping back as far as, you know what I mean? Like, maybe to your point about confusing, it comes in the preparation of the week, because you're not gonna blitz 4 guys, or 5 guys, I should say, total. You're not going to blitz 2 guys extra and make 5 or 6 guys come and do something that any team before this season failed to do.
And the Eagles only really have 3 cornerbacks of note for this game.
Well, Ronald Darby's out.
Right. So think about fourth quarter. Unless you're putting like an extra safety, in on guys. These guys are basically going to have to play the majority of the game.
Yeah, that's
so think about the fourth quarter.
Well, isn't this a Jenkins slot game though?
Well, Jenkins never comes off the field anyway.
No, but I'm saying, you're probably going to have to wind up playing McLeod.
Yeah, because they'll be in
Sandejo.
sub-packages practically the whole game.
Right. So instead of you can actually look at this and think, all right, well, you're only going to play the 2 linebackers anyway. You've got a third one now in Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Sometimes one. Sometimes Bradham will be the only linebacker on the field.
Correct.
A dime.
With Kamu there now, you could play Kamu and Bradham.
Right. Those would be the 2.
Right, and you can have 3 cornerbacks and 3 safeties.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 8 guys, and then you'll have, that's a 3-man front. It's not ideal, but even still, 2 corners, on the field, and 3 safeties and 4 guys up front.
Right.
Meaning you're 2 guys on the outside. But your third safety is now Sandejo. Right, who rolls back into the safety spot because Jenkins is playing the slot. It's not ideal, but I feel, here's the thing, Harry, to get to where we are right now, 15 after, I feel more confident in the Eagles figuring that out than I do the Eagles figuring execution out if Alshon's like 50% and they have to throw to Nelson and JJ and Dallas multiple times. Like, I'm not ready to believe in that yet as far as if that can turn around, because that's a bigger problem in my eyes.
All right, let me ask you this. I want you to be honest with me.
Let me ask.
Are we leaning this way not only because we're here in Philadelphia, but because we know the Eagles absolutely need this game, and the Packers are 3-0, and if they lost it, it wouldn't be the biggest thing in the world because they're still 3-1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is that part of our, sort of sort of shading our vision here? Because I would admit that it's probably shading mine, because I can't fathom the idea of the Eagles being 1-3 and us talking about this at Parks tomorrow, waiting for Dallas to possibly go 4-0.
Right.
And we sit 3 games behind after the month of September in the division, and you're starting to look around and saying, wow, are we going to make a wild card or not? You know what I mean?
So are you saying is us picking this game based off of fan desperation?
Exactly.
Well, okay, there's a factor of that in there, yes.
Yes.
But we also opened up and we talked about how the line moved. We talked about where money is. This is not a team that's down a touchdown. If you're down a touchdown, right, going into Green Bay 1-2 on the season, and that's a 7-point line, that's a 9-point line, then I think if we're having the same conversation, it's far-fetched. But the reality is that there are people, not even bettors, forget the betting angle of it, Harry. I think that you look at where this team is, it's not just you and I and anybody else with a local platform. I think there are people around the country that are believing that this Eagles team is just victim of early injury. And I'm sorry, but we've seen teams from injury to hangover struggle too early. The Seahawks, I feel like, for almost like 3 years, those 2 Super Bowl seasons following the first Super Bowl appearance, for like 3 straight years, they started out slow. Oh, are you kidding me? They're not going to make the play. Russell Wilson, overrated. All of a sudden, what happens? In December, you look up, and they're 9-5 with 2 games left.
Right.
Atop that division.
Yeah, right. No, I've seen that. Here's the ideal situation, and this is what I want to unfold tonight. The Eagles find a way to scratch this game out, 23-20, whatever it is. Dallas loses to Teddy Bridgewater and the Saints in New Orleans.
Very possible.
And then their next game is Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers off a loss.
Pissed off?
Yes.
Cue the I am pissed off.
No, it's in Dallas.
That's fine.
But Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers off a loss going to Dallas.
Absolutely.
Give me
Aaron
that
Rodgers could go
scenario.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're looking at
Give me
something.
that scenario.
But let me ask you this, and I'll flip this back on you. How much of what you're looking at with this game for the, and I know this sounds crazy because we always look at this from our fishbowl, but you just laid out a perfect scenario about how Green Bay gets trapped tonight, because Green Bay now has 10 days off to prepare for a huge road trip against what they're being told. All you have to do is turn on ESPN, and you're told the Dallas Cowboys are heading to the Super Bowl. The Dallas Cowboys this.
3 weeks
Dak
in.
that.
Yeah, they're in Miami.
I'm
right
telling
now.
you, man.
We're going down there to do the show. We're
We
going
are.
to be doing a lot of having to suck it up that the Cowboys are already there. ESPN has already told us that Dallas will be in Miami 3 weeks in.
When my futures bet pays off for Dallas being in the Super Bowl,
shut up.
I don't give
Nobody
a
wants
rat's
to hear about that.
I don't give a snail's ass
Yeah,
at that
great,
point, all right?
great.
Just pay me the
Yeah,
damn money.
yeah.
But isn't this a trap game for Green Bay? I'm going to ask Mike Heller. Mike Heller's going to join us in 13 minutes. I'm curious to get his thoughts on this.
No, I don't know, because the previous game was against Denver. If the previous game was like a big division game against one of the Vikings, Bears, or Lions, maybe I could say that, but it was Denver.
I think you can look at, though, maybe a degree of it, whereas you take this team lightly.
Who?
The Eagles. I think the Packers are going to take this team lightly. Absolutely.
No way.
Absolutely.
No shot. This rookie,
I think that plays into
rookie
it.
coach, he's 6 weeks out of Tennessee as a coordinator. He's going to take the Eagles lightly?
Aaron
Aaron Rodgers?
I don't think they're listening to him anyway. No, they come in overconfident. They come in at 3-0. They come in with the defense working.
No, I don't
they come
think
in with the Devontae Parker. How many touchdowns does the guy have on the season so far? 1? That's what I'm saying.
Devontae Adams.
Pardon me.
Devontae
Parker
Adams.
probably has less. That's my point, though, is you look at where this team is, everybody's expecting this breakout. We've talked about this 2 days ago.
Well,
everybody's expecting.
No, I'm not expecting. I'm just fearful of it, that this is the week that he gets off because of the Eagles' secondary issues.
Your fears are a lot of people outside of Philadelphia's expectations.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
All
I was
right.
just being ridiculed on this guy's show yesterday about
You
my
should be
confidence.
ridiculed.
And I was telling him about.
This guy was ridiculing
No,
you?
I'm joking.
Okay. Because I love this guy if he's ridiculing you.
No, he knows.
We're going to be buddies.
Correct. He knows to take shots at me. Trust me. Mike and I go back to the NBC Sports Radio days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he knows to take as many shots as humanly possible. He's probably.
Well, this should be a good segment.
I
then.
think so. And you can have as much fun as you want. All right. We could talk about our buddy catching babies.
What's he on Twitter? Give out his Twitter. Is he on Twitter?
Yeah, he's on Twitter. It's I think Heller Sports.
Heller Sports.
I'm going to tell you now. Well, I got to find it on my phone. Hold on. The internet here was struggling. But Mike Heller, again, he's going to join us in 10 minutes. An hour from now, Mike K. So we're going to chat with Mike as well about everything going on. He's heading up there to Green Bay.
Yeah, he's probably just getting off the plane.
I think so. Yeah, at Heller Sports, Heller Sports. He'll come on with us in 10. Now, we also have our DraftKings lineup, I said, but the other thing I want to get to, and we'll do this in the second hour, as we'll rehash the Eagles stuff, take some texts. I know TJ's on the line. We're going to get to TJ in a second here. But I've got the first of a weekly edition. Josh has Friday cornered with college. You have Friday cornered with the parlay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hit you with the first weekly edition, Harry, of the Thursday teaser.
Now, do we have production for this yet?
No. Are we a production-type show?
No, I know. I wish we were.
Oh, you want to do more of that crap? That hokey stuff?
Yeah,
you like it?
I love hokey.
I thought you wanted to get away from that.
I did hokey karaoke back in the day.
That's what that
me?
I thought it was cowboy karaoke. Hokey karaoke. Yeah, listen, Josh is quick on the draw. We just don't have any imaging. Do you want to get imaging for all these segments? We sure as hell can.
I think that would be great.
I thought you were anti.
No,
I thought we're moving away from the phone call, overproduced, underperforming radio show.
No.
Okay.
No, because then that's a podcast. We're not doing a podcast.
Got it.
I keep having to remind people that, how's that podcast going? Podcast? I've been on the air since April 1st again.
Right, the show is podcasting. All right, so we'll use this music in the second hour for the. All right. And here's the beauty of it. Since it's the first one, I have two. A college and pro Thursday teaser.
How many teams?
3 each.
Boy.
Yep. All right, let's get to TJ in Center City. What's up, brother?
Gentlemen, what's going on? It's Eagles game day!
Yes, sir. We're hanging here at Dunphy Ford. Can't wait. Beautiful day out.
It's really great, TJ, before you start with your point, that we didn't have to wait until Sunday to try to get the bad taste of that Lions game out of our mouths. Like, it feels good that the Eagles are playing tonight.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And, gentlemen, tonight, if you're an Eagles fan or if you're an Eagles sports bettor and you like to bet on the Eagles, which I don't, because when they lose, I get double as pissed off, and I can't bet against them. So I guess an over-under is a better play for me. But as dumb as the line is, it's put up or shut up tonight. Like, if you're an Eagles fan, this is the whole season. Like, there's no way they're going to start 1-3 and then come back and they're going to rip off 6, 7, 8, 9 games straight. Do you see their schedule coming up? It doesn't even get any easier. You have a cupcake game with the Jets coming up. But who knows if they'll even win that. If they lose tonight, and then they're going to come back and then play the Jets next week and then could possibly be 1-4. There's no friggin' way. We knew this team coming into the season. We all thought we have Super Bowl, whatever, all that dumb stuff. I just try to keep it real because I smoke God's grass and I try to keep it real. So, I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but honestly, if you are an Eagles fan, tonight's a must-win game. That's it. The season
totally agree with you.
relies on tonight's performance. So
I was on the must-win last week, and people were laughing at me.
Oh, man. Well, they should have won last week, and now it turns this into a really must-win. And you know what? If we have confidence in this team at all, and thank God Alshon Jeffrey's back, he gives me a little bit of hope. Tonight's a game that they can win. But
all right, so let me ask you this, TJ, real quick, before we part ways.
Go ahead.
On average, and let's look at the last, minus the Super Bowl, so past the Super Bowl, last year, you know what, let's just look at this year. This year would provide better opportunity. Skins, Falcons, Lions. On average, how much are you blazing per game?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. I'm hitting the packs probably at least 2-3 times. And I'm not talking about hits.
That's it?
I'm talking about repacking it with a whole half gram each time. Come on now. I can't deal with Eagles football sober. Who the hell wants to deal with life sober? Sober life sucks. Just be responsible. And
tell me about it. I've been sober since Sunday.
Eagles, baby.
Thanks, TJ.
Look at you shaming him.
I'm not shaming him.
When he tells you how much he smoked, you're like, oh, that's it?
I assumed, listen, if you came to me and said it's like, oh, I had a great day out there on the course, went to the club, shot a beautiful game, 101, I'd look at you and be like, that's it?
Well, that's not a beautiful game.
That's what I'm saying, right. So I assumed TJ was maybe a little off today.
Okay.
Just checking.
All right.